However, the county is currently facing some legal and fiscal constraints because we need to operate within the wage ceiling set by the Public Finance Management Laws. As per Regulation 25, Subregulation 1B of Public Finance Management, County Government Regulations of 2015, county expenditure on wages and benefits should not exceed 35% of the total revenue. However, there has been proposal concerning whether we could convert our teachers into permanent and pensionable. The calculation indicated that would then mean we need to look for an extra 200 million onto the wage bill, which then would push our wage bill beyond 50%. Additionally, Section 107, subsection 2B of the PFM Act 2012 indicates that at least 30% of the county budget must be allocated for development, which will be compromised if the wage bill is increased. However, the county is still thinking how to help ECD teachers, including exploring sustainable ways. That includes enhancing local revenue mobilization. However, the fiscal space and the targeted funding, once it is secured, then the county will consider that so that it does not violate the laws on public finance and management. More details on the teachers' numbers, distribution by card, qualification, pay structure, teacher pupil ratio by ECD. We have annexed Muranga County ECD enrollment and teacher establishment per school. Question 7. Provide annual budgetary allocation and actual expenditure in the education sector since 2022 to 2023 to date. So we start with 2022-2023. The county allocated 676 million for recurrent expenditure and 52 million, 52.8 million for development. Out of these 659 million of recurrent expenditure, out of this, 659 went to recurrent, while 29.6 went to development. There was a balance of about 23 million. ECD sub-sector, 20 million was allocated for program development and 19.8 was expended. Then we had 5 million for ECD furniture. We also had 6 million that was allocated for recurrent grants. We also had 5.5 for civil works. We also had 5 million for tools and development. Bursaries and scholarship received 220 million, later increased to 308 million in supplementary budget, and which was fully dispersed to support learners in secondary and tertiary institutions. 2023 to 2024, the county increased the allocation to 785 million, recurrent 23 million for development. When we come to 2024-2025, we allocated 77764 for recurrent, 33 million that went for development. Under development vote, ECD had 5 million for furniture, 80 million for infrastructure. Now, again here, Madam Chair, I think there is some missing information. This amount does not include the support we have given to ECD under the Department of Roads and Infrastructure, what we call the community projects, because per annum, on average, that department has been supporting ECDs at about 600 million per annum, that department. So, because the question was more into the Department of Education, that was not captured.
Actually, we were just wondering how. We were just wondering how we've been able to build or what we've done with this budget we're looking at here. That's what we were actually discussing.
Yes, I've just noted that in our answer, we ought to have indicated there was another 600 million from the Department of Roads and Infrastructure. Yeah. Which every ward on average per annum, they renovate and build these ECD classes. I think about 8 or 10 per annum. Per ward. So meaning 10 times 35 wards. So you find here that would be about 300 ECDs. So as at now, we have 700 ECDs on average. We have renovated about 520, leaving about 140, which is not yet attended. Question number 8.
So before we go to number 8, in 2023, you're saying 52.8 million was for development. Is it for developing classes or some other things right now? The 600 million from the other boards then goes to building classrooms. How did you explain 52.8?
Yeah.
223.
I will answer there. Yes, I will note that.
Okay, please, we want to capture the classes the way you've done for per ward, please, if you can repeat that. Just what you said, that you've done with how many classes per ward, per annum, renovated how many?
So on average, each ward per annum renovates about between 7 and 10. Between each ward. So we have 35 wards.
And that's
so
the total comes to over 300.
About 300 per annum.
Okay. And when you were talking of centers, you're talking of the 2 classrooms plus the toilets block.
Not necessarily so. Some wards will just renovate 1 or 2 classrooms. Others will do the entire set. So it depends ward by ward. Then we have question number 8. Provide a list of beneficiaries and the amount allocated for bursaries and scholarships for those years. The response is that Muranga County in the year 2022-2023 allocated 308 million for bursaries. That is secondary school and all other institutions. So there was a program called mutahi. The county supported 6,506 learners. Then the county then supported 900 orphans plus 1,000 university students. In the next financial year, 2023-2024, the county had 252 million, which then went to secondary school. Here, there was the Kenyatta program. There was also the KCPE top performers and vulnerable students, and there was also the ward program where every ward gets some money. So the KCPE performers, about 2,957, each got 15,000. We had the Kenyatta 3,777. Then we had another set of students, 2,000 372 who got 20,000. Another one from the ward bursary. We had another amount that went to ward bursary. Every ward on average gives 2,000 students. So 2,000 times 35, these are about 70,000 people who benefit out of the ward bursary. Then we have Don Orion Children's Home. This is a school by Catholic Diocese of Muranga at Kandara that deals with disabilities, which got 1.4 million. Those who went to the university, 953, each getting 12,000. 2024-2025, last financial year, the bursary was 275 million. Then we gave Mutahi 2,499. Then the county supported day schools. There's a program the county supports all day schools in Muranga. That is to the every day school in Muranga. They do not pay any fees. We have about 260 day schools. So times 30. So we are talking of about 8,000 students in Muranga. So the county pays full fees for them.
Madam Chair, because I've had the MP for CAF, then the mayor still paying for it. So who pays?
So we have four categories who benefit. One, we have the Mutahi. As at 2024-2025, there were about 2,000. We have the 8,000 in this school where the county pays full fees. That's about 10,000. We have the ward students, again about 70,000. So far that comes to about 80,000 students. Then you have the orphans and disabilities and university students, particularly from the district. So it's comes to about 85,000 or so students who get that support. Question number 9. When was the last quality assessment of ECD centers, both private and public, was conducted? So the county does annually, and we have provided that last assessment report. Question 11. Provide details of the school feeding program, specifying nutrition components, free feeding frequency, beneficiary ECD centers, cost, and other issues. Our response is that the county provides daily 300 ml of fortified porridge to every learner throughout the school every week. It is designed to improve child nutrition, increase school attendance, and enhance classroom concentration. The porridge is fortified with essential nutrients, vitamin A, B1, B2, B3, B6, B12, folic acid, iron, zinc, and calcium, which are vital for physical growth, cognitive development, and immunity. The program is fully funded by the county government. Since 2023, the program has had positive and measurable impact on ECD enrollment. 2023, the enrollment was about 34,000, short to about 35,264. But of course, there has been some decline in enrollment, which we think they are attributed to other factors. The main one being changing Muranga demographics. Muranga is becoming more and more county of the elderly with the falling fatality rate. Overall, the program has significantly contributed to reduced absenteeism, increased school participation, and we have annexed the enrollment trends. Question number 11, provide the support provided to ECD and vocational training by non-state actors in the county. Yes, Kakuzi has donated chairs. Eudu, the one who offers digital learning. Yes. Question number 12, submit copies of ECD scheme of service, ECD policy, curriculum documents, and other agreements between the county and the primary school for the establishment of ECD centers. We have provided those documents. Question 13, provide the number and location.
Senator, please can you go through
Cite the annex.
Can you go through the chair? Yes.
The governor is saying he has provided the documents. That you point us to the annexes.
Cite the annexes, please, Governor.
Annex 10 is the ECD scheme of service, which outlines the teacher qualifications.
We don't have it.
Annex 12 is the pre-primary policy guidelines, Annex 11, and National Pre-Primary Education Policy, Annex 12. Question 13, provide the number and location of child care day centers in the county categorized by public and private ownership. So Muranga has a robust network of home-based child care centers, which caters for early care needs of 6,756 children through 1,268 providers spread across all the 9 sub-counties. The distribution is as follows: Katanga 124, Idanga 58, Kahuro 72, Kandara 217, Kandima 93.
This we can see as it is, Governor.
Question 14. Provide a list of the vocational training centers in the county, indicate their locations, enrollments by gender and cost, fees charged per student, and states the indicated cost of providing the training cost, the vocational training per course.
Your Excellency, maybe before we get to question 14, we can have members interrogate question 1 to 13, so that at least we can now move to TVETs in its own. So if you're ready, Senator, can you ready to go?
Thank you, Madam Chair. My first question would be, Governor, I'm looking at your first question response. You're saying that the enrollment is highest in Muranga and Muranga is the lowest. But seriously, looking at, I'm dividing, for example, the number of children that were enrolled, 5,659 vis-a-vis the schools, which were 110. I'm getting 51 if I divide. Then I'm looking at Idanga, saying the enrollment was the lowest, that is 1754. I divide by 33, getting 53. I don't think then enrollment would be meaning something different. For example, if you ask me to donate blood, and you ask an elephant to donate blood, I'll donate all my blood, and the elephant will donate some of its blood, but it will have donated more. So I'm looking at the ratio. I don't think this will be, Madam Chair, it will be, maybe if we talk about percentage, they have done very well in terms of what they are, because they can't do much. although I don't know they understand what I mean. The second, the same thing even goes to for the private. But now my question is this, Governor, how many in your 3 years, how many ECDs have you constructed to completion? And if you know how many ECDs were there before devolution, that one was there. Again, why do you want to put so much money from the infrastructure you put it in ECD? You leave alone infrastructure, which may be in Muranga, they are not very good in terms of infrastructure, and then you take money from education, and then you put it in bursary, which is not your function, so to speak. Like you are giving to secondary school, which is not your function. You're giving to university, which is not your function. I don't know that you're running from the best. That is doing exactly what the president does, which I'm very comfortable. He's doing markets, which is the work of county. He's doing housing, which is supposed to be county. Are you running from the best? Even you. You have provided us an extra. An extra is something called National Pre-Primary Education Policy. It tells us the way the classroom is supposed to look like. That is 8 by 6 meters. That's what the classroom is supposed to be. But your classrooms are different. The size is 9.7 by 9.3. Then you're telling us special category. I don't know where you got that term special category, because it can be unique in Muranga. But having said that, Governor, your presentation is the best of all the presentations that have been brought in this Senate. Your presentation is the best. I can quickly follow. We are happy, and for me, I'm concerned about food. You are feeding the children of Muranga very well, plus the issue of translating. I'm seeing even the way you're paying your ECD teachers, the payments are very good. In the morning, we are seeing people who are paying peanuts. Governor, you know, when you pay peanuts, you get money. So you're doing very well on that. Thank you.
Those were closing remarks or your questions. I don't know, senators, how you want us to go about it. Does he first answer those ones and then everybody answer them? He can write.
Yeah.
So we give him a batch of 2 or 3. Okay. Of course, he's quoted it. Muranga?
You know, Senator Governor Kangata is a very brilliant guy. He got everything and he answers. Now, starting with the presentation chair, much as Senator Kenya said it's the best, but should have done better by tabulating. If you look at page 1, that response, paragraph 2. They're giving Muranga sub-county, you know, details, then Kandala details, Gatanga details. If you tabulated, it would have been easier for us to follow, so it would be better. But
He did it as a lawyer, so he wrote everything.
You can do better with the tabulation. Number 2, I think you captured all the details, and that's why Senator TV is applauding you for, which is true. Now, my question number 1 will be, or maybe clarification, Chair, on page 2, you've indicated that there is a special category, ECD Center, which receive a full development package comprising 1 classroom, latrine, play, material, water tank, and so on. Now, an ECD center cannot really have 1 classroom because then they're supposed to have P1 and P2. So really, I don't know what you mean by special category when we only have only 1 classroom. Maybe you can clarify on that. Secondly, Chair, we would want to know the number of teachers employed by parents and how much they are paid. Because at times when you pay them too little, then they're not motivated to work. So we need to know, or have an inkling, much as it's a special arrangement, how much are they paid? And maybe also we need to get to know the qualifications. Are they registered by TSC as per the regulations? Then I would also want to know, or to get clarification on how much the county government pays per learner. Much as the education is offered quote-unquote free, but for the sake of budgeting, we must have the data on how much it costs per learner to take a child through ECDE. Number 3, you've indicated that where we have parents paying some money, say to cater for the salaries of the teachers, it is the school headmaster who administers the funds. And of course the policy has that provision that the BOM would then have the head teacher of the school, primary school, as the secretary of the BOM. My question to you would be, are you comfortable with that arrangement, or do you want that policy to be tweaked a bit so that we have county government and national government functioning separately within the school? Much as the school is housed, the ECD centers are housed by the primary schools, but is it need to have funds collected for provision of services in ECD centers administered by private schools? Head teachers, are you sure that the funds really reach the ECD centers? What do you think can be done about that policy provision? The other one for me, Chair, would be teacher to student ratio. There are some areas, some schools, and I report for you, where the ratios are very small. Yet you are saying there are schools where teachers are supposed to employ. Can't you do staff rationalization and redistribution of the teachers so that then where there is overstaffing, you can reduce the teachers? I'll give you an example on page 2. School number 37 called Township Ngunyi.
Which annex side the annex?
This is annex, this big book.
This one.
Annex 3.
Annex 1.
Annex, I think it's Annex 1. Yes, Annex 1, yes. Page 2.
Number?
Page 2, school number 37. Chair, school number 37 has an enrollment of 43 learners. Number 37. Are you on page 2? This is long book.
32.
37. School number 37 called
Kiru what?
Township Ngunyi.
Kiru. Hapa kwetu ni Kiru.
Hero.
Kiru.
Or it is page 2 of Annex enrollment. On enrollment, data enrollment and teachers in Muranga County.
Well,
Each account. Page 2. We have a problem with the leveling. But if you can get to Muranga East Sub-County, Muranga East Sub-County, page 1, then the page 2. Muranga East Sub-County. Muranga East Sub-County. I think there's a problem of pagination, but when you go to get Muranga East Sub-County,
that's all the enrollment and teachers in Muranga County.
yeah, Muranga East Sub-County, yes. So go to Muranga East Sub-County. Page 2.
Are you there? Somebody help them?
Muranga East Sub-County, yeah.
Number?
Page 2, yeah. Page 2.
You're there. Township Mjini.
Yeah, township Mjini, yes. The enrollment there is 43. If I'm not wrong. Oh, sorry, it's not 43. It's 43. Or there's 5133. 73. By 4. Okay.
That's the thing.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, the structure is 76.
Oh, it's 51 and 52.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then I drop that one. I can drop that one. Now, then the last one is about the bursary scheme. Please try and explain, because we have nyota for orphans. Then you have some bursary calling ward schools. Then there is some amount given to public day schools. How is it administered? Is it administered centrally? And then some money taken to the wards? Ostensibly to be maybe administered by the MCAs. And how do you ensure that there are no overlaps? Then you can just explain it a little bit more. Otherwise, this is some good work.
So can you please allow me to answer those? Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chair. With your permission, allow me to start with the issue of the bursary. It's an issue that has been raised by the Senator of Taveta endorsed Senator Kino. And so, one, Muranga County bursary is divided in several categories. Number one, we have something called mutahi. Mutahi was started by the former regime, and they would come to a ward, they use a certain committee, and they would support about 25 students on average per ward. So that would be 25 students per ward and 35. That would be about 800, 900 students per annum. Then they would pay for them in boarding school the entire fees. That would be about 40,000 per student. That was the only bursary that was there when we came in. When we came in, we thought, okay, we cannot drop this program because it's a students. But we had a problem with the philosophy that was underpinning it. And the reasons were, one, the people benefiting are just too few. So we are talking of 900 students getting almost a total budget of about, let's say 200 million. In a county of about 1.2 million. We thought, I'm not so sure that's the moral thing to do. But because there are people who are already in it, we said, okay, we'll allow them to finish, but we will have to change the philosophy underpinning this program. So, we would then allow each Mutahi class to get out of school, let's say Form 4. Then the saving would then come up with a new idea. So, as of today, this is the last Mutahi cohort that is in Form 4. What happened to the balance that was released by Form 3, Form 2, Form 1? That money is the one now we divided it into the several methods. One, every ward. We said every ward, they give us a list of about 2,000 per ward. We started with 1,000. That's about 35,000. Then
Who gives the list?
it's a committee. It's a committee set by the law, part of the county assembly, and people apply. And then the deserving students who are the poor, they get support. Often we get very little, about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 bursary in the county. The second category we introduced was, so that then would translate to about 35,000. So you add the 800 nyota yetu, you have then 35,000 of the world. Category number 3 was what we are saying, day schools. So we say poor but bright students in day school in Muranga, we pay full fees. That has several advantages. Number 1, you create a competitive culture. 2, there is no subjectivity and corruption because it's an objective criteria. And 3, people who take their children to these schools tend to be the poorest. And that money is retained in Muranga. Because we also want to support local schools. So you 8,000 because Muranga has about 260 day schools. We pay for them full school fees. Then that is category number 3. Category number 4 is for university students. If you are in day school, we realize, Madam Chair, that the people in day schools tend to be the poorest, and they struggle a lot to make it to the university. The irony is, the people in boarding schools in Muranga are about 25% of the total schools, but they produce 3/4 of the total students graduating to the university. Day schools are 3/4, but they only produce 1/4 of students who make it to the university. So to address that imbalance, we say if you are from day school and you qualify, we give you 10,000 as an incentive. So you add that. Then the final category was for orphans. If you are an orphan, if you are living with disability, you give us documents. Again, we give you about 10,000 per annum. How do you ensure notification, as asked by the Senator? It's computerized. We have a digital platform, therefore you cannot apply twice. And again, also, some of those categories are objective, so that caters for that. An issue has been raised that why do we need bursaries? First, Chair, let me take this opportunity to say that the control budget has not released county bursaries, and there's a huge uproar in Muranga and other counties. And personally, I think counties providing bursaries is the right thing in the world. Why? Number 1, you'd imagine how institutions are currently complaining no capitation. It is counties that have been helping our students to go to school. Mandera County pays for all the students to go to secondary school. They don't pay for. So meaning, when you now stop bursaries in the county, you are punishing their parents, you are punishing all these Muranga students who are currently on bursary. What if we use that money to fund good functions? 1, under the Constitution, there's a clause on transfer of functions. So meaning, we are doing something legal. We signed intergovernmental agreements, which then created a legal basis for counties to intervene. Second, County of Muranga and several other counties have passed enabling legislation justifying bursaries. No single such statute has been declared unconstitutional by any court in Kenya. So those are valid legal instruments, creating a legal basis for bursaries. If we redirect those resources, in my humble view, is that the counties will be failing to live up to people's demand. By the way, the counties do not give bursaries just because we want to give bursaries. It is because it's a demand driven request. Madam Chair, it will be very inhumane for us to watch people failing to go to school, citing legal issues. There is no child who belongs to the national government. There is no child who belongs to county government. Concerning Keharu constituency, it is true that Keharu, they pay schools, but they leave a balance of about 1,000. So, and also the teachers, we also charge an extra 1,000. So the county government comes in to pay for that 2,000, which the CDF doesn't pay for. Question has been asked.
So, Governor, what you are telling us is it is not that the CDF pays the way it has always been put for the school fees for all the secondary school students. The county government also pays some part of that money.
The CDF Keharu pays, okay, on average, the school fees in a day school is about 5,000 per term, right? So CDF Keharu pays about 4,000. It leaves a balance of 1,000, which should be paid out of pocket. Then the principals also usually introduce another cap fee, say for tuition or something. So you find the parents actually paying 4,000. So the county government of Muranga pays them 2,000. So it becomes a completely free school for certain cohort of students in Muranga. I've said that per school, not all students. That's the first place. I pray, Madam Chair, you call control budget, ask her what is happening. Oh, children are at home. You know, it's very moral from where I see children are basically at home and you have the money.
But Governor, you sit in the Council of Governors meetings, and that is where actually they are the ones you should be asking, because you are saying that according to the Constitution, that you've signed the agreements. Yes, but did the I can ask for the money to follow the functions. You are letting me answer that question.
Yes, Madam Chair, I have just called the chair of the Council of Governors. I also called our secretary to COG, Madam Mary, and I have raised that issue because counties have money, Muranga has money, but we can't pay because control budget has not signed our accusation. We really urge the Senate, we have a lot of powers, intervene. Let our children go back to school.
No, I think you did not understand my question. My question, and I think you are going to answer it, Governor, as a lawyer. You quoted the Constitution, and I've just asked you. You are asking us to call and ask why the control of budgets has not signed for you to disperse the bursaries. But I've also asked you. You are quoting the Constitution here. The Constitution here saying that you've signed the agreements. But I've also asked you, have you followed that the monies should follow the functions?
Maybe I leave that to COG. But for me, Chair, as long as we have the money as a county, I think for us, we have the money.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to bring to your attention the chairman of the Education Committee, COG, does not pay bursary. And he is in the Republic of Kenya. He's in a county Republic of Kenya, where people are poor, but he knows the functions properly.
That's why he was being impeached. Governor, continue.
Of course, he has not paid the people for his being, and that's why we did not allow him to be
No, Madam Chair, I would like me to allow me to support you. You have seen the problems in Nairobi County, yeah, for the last 1 or so weeks. The key reasons that is being cited is the one of bursaries, where the members of the County Assembly of Nairobi are insisting they want bursaries. When the governor says no, the control budget is not allowing requisition for bursaries, they can't understand. I'm trying to bring the idea that those of us who are here, we discuss the law of bursaries, the moral point of bursaries, where the cash follows function. Yeah. But it means life and death to the poor children on the ground.
That's why you should push for
on
it.
the ground. So I'm just trying to implore on you that it's a very important issue on the ground. And I'm really urging, even as we talk about the law, is the money following functions, let us be practical. And the practical point is people want to go back to school. The national government is unable on its own motion to fully fund our education. I wish they would do so. We would be using that money for other things. But as long as there is a lacuna and the wananchi don't know, they don't care. It's not about law. It is about taking our children back to school, Madam Chair. So therefore,
I just thought because I had the same question, I prepared this because I know, as the governor said, this is a demand-driven activity. But we have functions that belong to the different levels. And the chair had raised a question which I had already put down. How do you go to the summit with the president and allow the executive to get away with us? In fact, you went ahead and you did an intergovernmental agreement without any money. Then you destroy our agendas which are devolved. Why would you make a demand? I really like what you did last week as Council of Governors. That you said you are not going to hire a single health worker if the money doesn't come down. And for that, we are getting about 70 billion? Which was 70 billion added to 415. We are going somewhere. So we are with you, and at the same time, we are with the comptroller. We are telling the comptroller, Kenya, so that they can actually demand for their money. Because if you had demanded that these children are not going to school and we need to have a summit tomorrow, start from Muranga and demand for a summit to discuss this bursary issue, you will be able to get this money because this money is somewhere. It's in the national government. How can it not follow the function and yet we know that bursaries existed? The reason Kiharu became very important is because of CDF. And the MP was very clear. He said, if you kill CDF, you have killed his 4,000 shillings. So he's now fighting to have that money. We are saying, if that is where the bursary is, push it then, let the function go and follow. So as much as we are with you, we are really pushing the governors to demand that money follows the functions that you take. If you write an agreement, the intergovernmental agreement that you are having, without any money, I can bet you will suffer with it for a very long time and you'll be distorted in your development. Demand the money the way you did in health.
Thank you, Chair. I like the discussion here, and I want to start by congratulating His Excellency the Governor, as we also ask you questions, and as I also demand that when you meet the executive as Council of want to hear, but you don't tell them what they need to hear. Two, my question now comes to these ECD classes in primary public schools. As a governor, are you in control of those classes, or the headmaster, whom you say indicates school fees, is in charge? Because ECD classes are devolved and they belong to you, governors. And as you answer that also, I would want to know what amounts does the parents pay in these ECD classes for the school fees for the students, and what amounts does the governor also pay in the same classes and maybe development partners?
Well, I think that is additional questions. Maybe if Your Excellency, you can finish with the questions which we had asked earlier so that we don't lose them anyway. As you note the questions from
Yes,
Senator
allow me to respond to the question about the size of the classes. I think this is the advice we get from the Ministry of Education and together with our engineers concerning the sizes of the classroom. There was a question from Senator Muranga concerning the number of teachers employed by parents. That is the response number, page 1. The question on the number of teachers employed by page 5. Page 5. Page 5 of this first document, second paragraph. We are saying 212 employed by the BUN. A question was also asked on how much are they paid. Again, same page, between 8 and 12,000. Are they qualified? Yes, they are qualified. And they all possess either certificate or a diploma in ECD. Then a question was asked concerning this is the last question that was asked by Senator from Machakos. Yes, we take your views into consideration, and they make a lot of sense, and the county strives for the best.
So the question of the heads of primary schools managing the funds paid by parents on behalf of ECD.
Thank you. Senator Muranga, the funds are managed by BUN, only that the headmaster happens to be the secretary. So allow me to, as per the policy, appear. It is the BUN, the head teacher is just a secretary. Thank you.
Can you tell how many in this session?
Yes,
Senator Kenya, please, can you talk on the answer, please?
Chair, through your chair, on this issue of board of directors in the primary schools, I've also asked Governor, because this is your docket, ECG classes are your docket. If you know how much school fees the parents pay, and if there is any of the school fees you give to these such committees.
Okay, one, thank you, Chair. The school fees paid by the parents is not standard. It differs school to school. The larger an ECD is, the lower the fees that will be paid by the parents, because the amount is divided amongst more parents. But on average, it will be about it will be about 2,000 per school term. About 2,000 per school term. Then, question was asked about how many ECDs we have constructed. So, Muranga has 669 public ECDs as per page 2 of the question. Out of these 669, Muranga County has either renovated or constructed 520 acres today, leaving a balance of about 149, which we have not attended to. That means either a renovation or building a new classrooms. As to building new ECDs that was there, we have built about 30, although except in major urban settlements like Muranga town in Kenya, we do not see the logic of building new ECDs based on the numbers of people that are there in Muranga. We feel we have reached zenith or the maximum possible we can do, except in Keno, Muranga town, and other major urban settlements.
Oh, maybe just to add on that, all these classes you've done, do you have a standard model of the way they're done?
Yes, allow me to take you to annexure. Annexure 3 at the back.
So are they all like this? That is what I'm asking.
No. It depends as far as each year. Some of them we have only renovated the classroom. So there was no need to put all these equipment. So some are like this, some don't have all this.
How many are like this? You know the 500 you've done?
Particularly this design, definitely not more than 4. Majority are like next page. Yeah? See the ones, the model ECD. They are like this, all these they are like this now. They are all like now this. You see this style, eh? Yeah? You see this style of Kimoto. Now, this the 500 and something, all of them are like this style of renovation. All of them, the 500. Yes. All of them are like this. The Komodo style. You see this Komodo in the next classroom. They now look like this. They have a ceiling. They have a terrazzo floor. They are painted. They have a new. Now they all look like this. What makes Maragi, the ones that you see here, Maragi CD a little bit unique is because we added the play part. Yeah. The play part.
Okay, so all the questions have been answered. Can we move to the next set so that can make progress? Oh, there was the question of the special category. You explain what you mean that.
Yes, allow me to yield to the director.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. On the issue of a special category, I think what you meant, this is a model ECDs that we have done. What His Excellency has just talked about, where we have the classrooms. It was supposed to be 2 classrooms, a set of toilets and the pre-materials and also the water tanks. So we want maybe in future to be able to have our schools have all these items in our institutions.
That was your question, Senator.
Yeah, but I thought now that's the ECD center from the school. I think that is what's supposed to be called ECD center. It's called inspection. That's the center. That's the center now.
According to the policy, the 2018 policy.
Yeah.
And And that is what, if I'm not wrong, the governor said that they've done just a few, about 4. So what we're saying is you've done 4 centers, but you've renovated ECD classes. So maybe to ask, how many classes, in how many schools have you renovated 2 classrooms and maybe even just the toilet? Because an ECD center should at least have a PP1 and a PP2 at the minimum.
I may have to reconcile that specifically. I may not have that information on top of my
Maybe if you could, that would help us when we write a report and say that you've done this ECD classes. Because you see, if we, like already Senator King has congratulated you, you could be congratulated that you've done only 1 class in every school. So it is important for us to know that you have a PP1 and a PP2, and even the other necessary facilities, at least at the minimum.
Maybe allow me to ask my chair of the County Assembly Education Committee. They are the one who will help us in identification.
And also, Chair, as they answer that, so that they can answer together, if we can also know where the classes are in primary schools, if you have their own toilets separately from the primary school toilets.
Yes, again, that differs project per project. You'll find some projects where there will be a request to just renovate. Another one, you'll be told, I want to do the full set of all facilities in a school. Others will tell you maybe the toilet block. So it differs request by request. So, but allow me to lead to the chair.
Okay, thank you, the Chair. As I said, I'm Honorable Naomi, and I can confirm, being the Chair Education, give a case scenario in my work. I have 18 schools, and through public participation, we have been able to identify 16 schools which have already been done. So,
Chair, what road is that?
What Rocho ward, that is in Kandara. So I can confirm that in my ward we have done 16 schools. That is PP1 and PP2. We renovate. They have been renovated, and we have constructed 2 new schools. That's blocks. So I can confirm that.
Chair, the reason why I'm concerned about the toilets is because these small children cannot share the same toilets with the big ones because they'll bully them and they won't be able to assist themselves.
Yes, Chair, allow me to support Senator Machakos. In fact, it's also to the interest of the County Assembly to do so, because in the water department, there's a program called K-Wash by the Water Department, and you are being given money based on how many more toilets you have built. So the more toilets you build per staying ECD, the higher the money you get from the water K-Wash. So when we were told just the other day about that requirement, I will engage my colleagues in the assembly to give priority to toilet blocks under this program, because it will help us with that other K-Wash program to increase our capitation.
Senator Professor?
Okay, I have 2 questions. I was very happy actually on 3. Now you are disappointed because there are 4. I thought this is Muranga, and I thought I've arrived finally. Because it's a very good, I can see very beautiful playgrounds. I can see what a center should be and where we will go. But on the 2 of those pictures, I thought I'm also seeing a fence, an internal fence for the children, isn't it? And
yes.
Because if that is internal, where is the toilet inside or outside? It's inside. Then we really have a very nice model that we'd like to encourage the governor to go ahead and do for everybody. Chair of Education from from the county assembly, you should be fighting to budget every county, every ward. At least 5. Reduce the bursary a little bit. And then, and since there is no bursary this year, use that money that was going to the bursary, because in Senate we are a bit biased. We are supporting the control of budget. Until the governors make us feel they are really struggling with the executive for these bursaries. And so that we don't also have conflict with MPs who are saying you are coming to our docket, the CPF is doing the same one. So congratulations for these model ones. But Governor, go ahead and do more. I'm happy the toilet is inside, so it means, and it's fenced off, it means there is inclusively OECD. I also am impressed by the playthings. This is what I've been asking every day, if we can have playgrounds, because these children learn by play. And so that is the third one. Is your porridge program. I know I congratulated you in Homa Bay, Governor, because I've been following what you are doing, and I was impressed. But are you giving porridge once or twice?
Every day.
Twice.
Every day.
Per day. Per day is once. You know, Muranga has the benefit of being very close to Nairobi. So most of these mothers work in Nairobi. Why do you want them to come to work at 7 and rush back at 1 to get children home? In the policy of 2018, 2 meals, 1 at 3 o'clock or lunch. Please consider, you might end up being the role model that we can be selling to the other counties. Oh yes, I'm going there. Yes. There is only one picture that you have not shown us. You have not shown us the inside of the classroom. The inside of the classroom was going to show us a few other things that we're interested in. We want to see how your children sit. How is the table that the children sit on? Are they sitting on a round table, on a rectangular table? Or what shape is the table? And how does it make the children independent? You know, kids at that age can be troublesome if one pencil gets lost. Where 6 children are sitting, everybody will be claiming the lost one is not theirs. So how have you set those children so that they can not only enjoy sitting, but also learn from one another? We also would like to learn from you, Governor, because you have done well in a number of things. ADU. We want to know a little bit about ADU so that we know whether to tell the others to move ahead. There are 2 things we want to learn from you. The issue of feeding, which you are doing in conjunction with a different company, and the issue of ADU, which you are doing with another company. And what you are feeling is, because some of this good news is good to spread. Finally, I need a clarification. ECD caregivers. I can see in your list some of them have certificates, others have diploma. Are they recognized as caregivers in the policy, or they're supposed to be assistant teachers, ECD teachers? Why you have used caregivers dominantly, but who exactly are they? And what are these diplomas they have? Is it the ECD diploma or a different diploma, and that's why you're calling them caregivers, not teachers? Thank you. Chair.
Thank you, Governor. As you answer that, I would request the voice to sit on my seat and walk out a bit. That I'll be back before you finish.
Thank you. Allow me to yield to the Chief Officer to answer on the issue of AIDU and the porridge program.
Thank you, Honorable Members. On the porridge program, we work with an organization called Food for Education, and we give porridge once a day to all the kids. And for the AIDU program, we are working with the AIDU. What we do is that we have embodied, we put lessons in gadgets, and the teachers use the gadgets to teach the kids. every day, literacy, numerical, and that has also enabled us to actually check if teacher is in session, what time they log in, who has attended class. So not only has it helped them embrace technology and also know numeric and literacy skills, but you can also be able to monitor which teacher is using which gadget, are they in school, which time they have logged in. In fact, I think for the Revolution Conference where the senator came to a session on food for education, the teacher who was taken to the Revolution Conference by the county was the one who had logged in the most number of hours teaching kids using the EDU system. Since once you log in as a teacher and you start teaching, you can be able to detect, we have a system that is able to detect that. We took the teacher who had the most logged in hours, who had taught the most to the Revolution Conference. So it is also helping us to be able to monitor such things in addition to helping kids embrace technology early and also improve their numeric and literacy skills. Thank you.
Maybe so that you finish. Igna has just graduated from an AI class in Paris the other day, and is this tablet, does it close out everything else except this program? Is it just a learning program or the other programs that are inbuilt?
It's a learning one.
Only for PP1 only.
What do you mean?
Is this gadget only displaying PP1, PP2 programs,
Yes.
nothing beyond?
Yes, PP1 and PP2 only.
So they can't access any other information.
No.
Okay, on the issue of teachers, if I heard you right, Professor, question was about ECD teachers certificate and diploma. Maybe the director can comment on it.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. The teachers we have gone through the training. That is the certificate course for early childhood education. There are those who've done early childhood, and there are those who have also done diploma in early childhood, and we have a few who have also done diploma in early childhood. So the term caregivers and teachers has just been used interchangeably, not that any of them has a different curriculum or has done a different level of training, but they have all done the same training. That is the training that is given to ECD teachers according to the Ministry of Education.
Okay, the question has been asked how the ECD look inside. Let the CC comment on it.
Thank you, the Chair. About the ECD, how they are, if you look at the pictures that we have on page, I don't know where we have the model. If you look at it, on the wall there are ratings that help the kids to do practice as they move outside. So when we move inside, the county also provides the ECD with chairs and tables. And I think for the 2 financial years, we have been able to provide the ECD with chairs and tables, where 1 table is used by 6 kids. 2 on this side, the other one on this side. No, there are 5, sorry. For whoever you sit there will not sit in front. So it is 2, 2, and 1 there. And the classes also have the charts that are used by the runners to run. They are very smart and they look like academic ECDs. Thank you.
Okay, just to clarify, not all, we are not being able to use ECD yet. I think so far, if I'm not wrong, we have provided 80,000 chairs out of a population of about 34,000. So it is work in progress. It is work. As to the issue of bursaries, I really urge this committee to reconsider its stance on that issue. Reason being, and I'm sorry to say this, a parent whose child has been sent home now, watching us leaders saying that those children should stay at home because of some battles. I think I'm not so sure whether that is the right thing to do. I would propose that, you know, when you go and find a patient, a person who has been knocked down by the road, the first question is not who has knocked you. What you do is first to take that patient to the hospital, and then you start asking who caused you this accident. I propose the committee to reconsider its stance. We first get that money, return those children back to school, and then we start fighting for the other needs. When you compare the issue of UHC, it's not comparable with this issue. Reason being, Madam Chair, we are talking about 100 or so staff per county impacted by this. But bursaries like Muranga, we are talking about thousands of young people who may fall out for lack of no one to support them. How I wish the national government, and if we can support secondary school education, then we will not be channeling our money to those schools.
Thank you, Governor. You have really made your case on this one, but we still insist we want to hear your voice. When the Senator of Kiambu came up with a motion that we stop all these bursaries and give free education in the country, the Council of Governors was quiet. It was so quiet that it was loudly quiet, because we were hoping that as we make the noise and all of us contributed to that motion in the House, it's now in the other House, but we were hoping that you'd pick it from there and say, yes, we cannot afford, we must have the money coming down. So we had said we want free education. The way it started in 2002 and it started sliding backwards to school fees again coming to schools. So we are with you, but all we are looking for is we want that real money to come, the real money to follow that function. So, but we hear you and we have had you. The last one I wanted to comment on was that one of the classroom rectangular table. In the first Council of Governors, where I was a consultant with CUG for a long time, the table they recognized as a nursery PP1, PP2, because PP1, PP2 really, blackboard, who looks at blackboard when they're at that age? You need to bring the blackboard to the table itself. And the teacher must move from table to table, and that's why we say not more than 30 children in a classroom, or maximum 36, so that you have 6 around one table and only maximum of 6 tables inside. And the table they had chosen at that time, through the first committee of education, was an hexagonal table. Hexagonal table gives every child their own space, because you are not sharing. So they feel like they own this space, the other one moves the other way. It's more independence, and if the teacher has anything, draw like this, they put it in the center. But you cannot draw a bicycle on the wall and tell them to copy. By the time they're looking at the wall and looking down, they haven't forgotten some of those things you're talking about. So ECT teaching is not blackboard teaching. It is table teaching. And the most important thing is to give them the right space. Let them not fight over, you have moved to my side, you've done that. Give them a very nice learning environment. And I always talk about the hexagonal table because I know it has been approved by that committee for all the governors to implement. And we go around and we find just a few are still using this model. So CEC, think about this model and see how you can do that. Honorable members, I think we need to go to VTCs.
No, just a comment, because
Yes.
the governor has put his plea. I'm also a supporter of bursaries for colleges, secondary school and universities. But then, what our county governments are doing, they are giving more prominence to secondary and college and university education at the expense of the functions that are involved. For example, the governor you have indicated that there are some ECDs because of lack of teachers who are paying some money. Like 2,000 per term, that is 6,000 per year. But then for the day schools, the students are not paying anything. Why can't we first of all have the ECDs not paying anything? Because that is our function before we clear all the fees for the day schools in Muranga County. We are feeding our neighbors' children when our children are not satisfied. And you've also indicated that there are some schools that don't have chairs. It means then that there is demand for more financing of our ECDs. So much as we want to make that case for secondary and university education being financed by the county governments, also want to make a case for ECD centers. Your county is paying quite some little amount, that is 2,000 per term, 6,000 per year. But there are counties in this country where ECD children to enter a class room of ECD, you have to pay 3,500 entrance fee. And then every month you're paying 1,500. That's about 18,000 per year. And then here you are giving bursaries to the tune of 10,000, 15,000 to secondary and universities. There are counties in this country, where we have vocational training centers who are teaching like motor vehicle engineering, but ukienda hakuna engine ambayo imeandikwa. So now, how do you channel a lot of money to secondary schools and universities when our VTCs, which are supposed to be exit points for the children who have done very well, are in primary schools and KCC level, to exit to that level and get training for skill development? So I think there should really be a balance. That let's channel more money to our devolved functions, and after all, we only get a 15%. And the secondary, the national government functions remain with the 85%. But true, I'm also a believer of the same, but that balance should be there.
Thank you. I don't want him to answer that. We will answer the question that touches on VTCs after concerning these three short ones. Question 14, 15, 16, and 17. I think the governor can just finish that within the shortest time possible, and then when you are answering, you can go reflect on what the Senator of Kenyatta has raised on VTC financing.
Thank you, Chair. On question number 14, the response is the county has 65 VTCs, and we have about 2,477 trainees. The courses include plumbing, ICT, dressmaking, and such. The average cost is the average cost per student per year is 15,607, which the county fully funds, and we do so by providing trained instructors, a capitation of 4 million per annum, and also we buy tools, about 17 million Kenya shillings. However, we have two types of other costs. One cost is the examination, the NITA examination, grade 3 test. Here, we have two types of students. Student 1, we have Muranga Youth Service. Muranga County has a program called Muranga Youth Service, where the county recruits 30 young people per ward through free balloting. Whoever picks yes joins Muranga Youth Service. Then they go and clean our towns. Every day we pay them 400 shillings. 100 shillings goes to the parent, 300 is left with the young person. After 2 months of cleaning our urban areas, they transit to our VTCs. Then they learn for free. Then we also pay for the NITA examination. Then after that, we give them 15,000 as state capital to start a business. So for that cohort, when they come to a VTC, it's free completely, including the examination for NITA. However, if you are not in it, you then have to pay the NITA examination. And in some few VTCs, I've also been told, they may pay for boarding facility. I know of one or four centers that have a boarding and lunch, 3,000 per term. But this is only for those who are not in NYS and only for the 4 centers. Then we come to question 15. Explain affirmative action provided to disadvantaged persons, including those living with disabilities and informal sectors, to join VTC and how we integrate them. The best way of doing so is our Muranga Youth Service program. One, because our recruitment is on 50-50 basis, gender representation. So in one ward, for instance, we are talking of 15 young boys, 15 young girls, making that 30 times 35 was that's 1,050 students. As at now, we have had about 6 cohorts. So meaning, as at today, those who have benefited these programs are 6,300 young people under this program of MYS. We come to question 16, elaborate skills training and providing the vocational training centers, future plans, lesson learned, challenges during implementation. Now, Madam Chair, the truth is, before Muranga Youth Service came into place, our VTC had collapsed. On average, one VTC used to have about 4 students, only 5. And they would rarely finish, or they would take 2 years to finish a 6 or 3 months course. But after Muranga Youth Service came in, the numbers shot up, because you find now you have about several young people going to a VTC. Even parents whose children are not under that program, they became attracted to them. So we somehow revived them. We also started even buying lecturers' chairs to renovate them, because now there is a lot of market and demand. And that is how we were able to rescue our VTCs. Others, they are dead, but there is now a lot of revivalism of our vocational training education. We hope this program continues. It is the anchor program to rejuvenate our VTCs. Finally, number 17, provide information on public libraries, operational status of libraries, staffing levels and qualifications. And Muranga has 4 public libraries. 2 are in Muranga County Library of 2009, Kangima of 2015, Maragua, that was done by NCDF, and Kandara Library at Kandara Children's Home remain inoperative. And we provide various services, Wi-Fi, interlibrary, ICT, digital learning, and such. We have 6 staffs. And also we had, when this service was developed to the county, we struggled, including to pay power, but we are happy to report we have solarized our library, and therefore the problem of power is no longer an issue. Allow me to show you an extra number, Annex 8. Annex 8, this document 8A and B, you go to Annex 17 there. So Annex 17. So at the back, or rather in the middle, you see photos on how we recruit Muranga in service. We usually announce in the newspapers dates when young people should come to, mainly a chief's camp. Once young people congregate there, they will find our staff, and this is a ballot. So these young people are here, and there will be a ballot written yes and no. So young people will first register.
Are members there?
Yes. You can see the young people, next pages of those young people congregating. And then you see the ballot. You can see the assistant chief there, superintending the process together with our staff, including the enforcement officer. Then this young girl is now picking a yes or no. Once you succeed, then we give you kits, we give you MOS protective gears. Then after you get the protective gears, then you start now cleaning our towns. And then after you clean our towns, you can see the kind of work they do, community work. And they englobe our towns, they clean our towns. And then once they do that, then you go the training of MOS. Now they transit to the vocational training centers. This young man there is trying to become a plumber or a masonry. Yeah, so he's learning. This other one is doing wiring. Then, after they learn the trade, then finally they pass, they do an examination. Then we have a graduation ceremony. These are young people during the graduation. And then during graduation, we give them the tokens. There is a ceremony. We give them mentors. Here we have Bishop Kiengei, who is a popular Kikuyu bishop, talking to these young people. And that's all.
Thank you, Governor. Maybe I can ask a quick one. When was Muranga Youth Service started?
Muranga Youth Service was started in 2014 in January. So we are now 1 year and 2024.
2024. So it was during your term?
Yes, this is last year.
That is your own baby.
Yeah, 2024. So we are 1 year and 7 months or 8 months old. We call them cohorts.
Yeah.
Every recruitment. Yeah. We have done 6th cohort, which translates to about 6,300 young people. We about
within a period of 1 year?
Yes, this period. Because every cohort is 1,050. Then they come in, they go the process, another one is recruited, they come in, that way. So we are about to announce for the 7th cohort for the 1,050 to come in, and now they start cleaning, go that way.
And we congratulate you for that one, because that's very unique and other towns in the land. I can see the MCAs are smiling. Yes. I think they must be enjoying that 1,500. But so that she starts there.
They are trained for how long?
Under the curriculum, they go is a 3 months course under NITA regulations. You know, they are training to do NITA examinations, grade 3 tests.
Yeah.
So they go for a 3 months course. Then they get a NITA grade 3 test. They have the option to upgrade. You do grade 2, grade 1, but now at that point now, you pay for yourself.
So once you give them the kit to go and start the startups, do you have a system to follow up to know what they are doing if they are really making use of it and making any profits with it?
Yes, we have some program officers whose role is to check how well they are doing. We don't give them kits, we give them money. Yeah, and that money is deposited into their accounts. Why? when you buy kits, you're basically doing a lot of procurement.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money may be lost in that procurement. So as we prefer giving them startup, so you check how their bank accounts are doing. A person who starts a business is to get money, getting up. So we use that as a tool to check whether they are progressing well. And we are happy other countries have come to us and they are doing this. We took that as somehow part of that.
Let's have questions from that end.
Thank you.
Senator Kenya.
Mine is not a question, but just a comment. Because what I've seen is Kangata is a political genius. What he's doing, but okay, there's one thing you said that you advertise these jobs through newspapers, which my guess would be having known Muranga. Kamini is very popular in Muranga. Maybe you're listening in Kenyan, and it's confirming that because I'm seeing the guest person who is coming to motivate them is King. So it answers my question. But where I was interested is, Madam Chair, did you hear after these young men are taken, when they are paid 400, 100 is paid to the parents. That's genius for another purpose. Now, Madam Chair, I listened to Kangata about Basaya, and I felt him because he's persuasive and I can hear him. And to me, he's preaching to the converted. But there's this issue, and I want to speak to Kangata straight. The issue of this motion in the Senate, whereby we are saying all monies with members of parliament, the bursaries, with the women rep, with ministry, they are all brought together in one basket, and then we allow our students to go to school for free. But I'm feeling you because you're saying you cannot promise me that you're going to cook for me food next week. Well, I'm suffering now. So for each about now, maybe we can discuss with the chair, then we can know what we do. Madam Chair, this is different from what you're discussing here. I was reading something about Muranga. They have increased their own source revenue in Kenyatta's 3 years from the revenue of 400 million to 1.2 billion. And he has not increased the rates of the taxes that he's charging people. Maybe he can tell me how he does it. If you want to answer, it's okay. If you don't want to answer, it's still okay. But it will give you an opportunity to blow the trumpet. They say you don't blow your own trumpet, but it's your trumpet, you can blow it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I'll just comment on the library part. Not library, but on the MIS. I think MIS was a master stroke, Governor. And I think many counties, other counties should emulate this program. It's a very good program. I think most people have known Muranga because of this MIS. And this is one of the counties that is touted to be, it is deemed to be one of the counties where devolution is working. So I think congrats to that. Then on the library, I've looked at the initiatives to enhance library services and promote reading culture. I am attracted to number 5, mobile libraries planned. I think this is extremely important. Only that is not elaborated how it is going to be done. Is it buying lorries which will move around with books, the borrowing centers in the villages, in the one level? I think I want to have somebody within your team or yourself to give me more thinking to how books will reach the underserved areas. It's extremely important. And then also this partnership with schools and institutions, you know, that's an important thing. Will you be taking the books to the primary schools, then collect them, or is it the teachers will be coming with the students, with the pupils, to borrow the books, then after some time they return? Maybe just give us an idea of what we plan to do, but I think this can really improve library services to Muranga.
Thank you, Chair. Allow me to yield to the Director of Library who is here on those issues before I answer the honorable.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Okay, what we meant with the mobile libraries, since most of the schools in Muranga County are not close to one another, we got